everybody, welcome to Otaku Saga. I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
And I'm Rizzo, and
this is Otaku Saga Talks,
where we talk
Yeah.
about our first impressions for winter 2017. Just the reaction. So, let's go ahead and get right into it, I think.
Alphabetical order.
Yep.
Right down the
Top
list.
down.
Straight down the list, alphabetical order.
You know how we do.
So, we did have 3 series that are continuing from last season, which is Sangatsu no Lion, Mobile Suit Gundam, and Nanbaka.
And they're all still pretty awesome. So
Yeah,
refer to the previous Otaku Saga Talks about those series to get our impressions on them.
Yeah. Anyway, so the first new one that we had up was Akiba's Trip, the animation.
Akiba's Strip, you mean?
Akiba's Strip. Yeah.
That wordplay, though. Masterful.
Yeah, so this one we weren't originally going to watch, but everybody said that it was good, so we went ahead and checked it out, and as it turned out, it was pretty amusing.
Yeah, I gotta say, you guys are right on that one.
Yep. So, it's anime by Gonzo.
Gonzo.
It's based off a game.
Which I really want to play.
Basically, the main character is an otaku NEET who, while on a trip to Akiba, he ends up getting caught up in some super powered fight and gets killed and then resurrected, and now he has to fight too. Oh yeah, did I mention that you fight by stripping each other?
Or exposing the skin of a bugged one to air.
Uh-huh.
Now that's a cop-out.
I would have believed it better if they said sunlight.
I would have believed that too. A little bit more.
Or UV, or I don't know, something.
Or they die of sheer embarrassment.
It is very, it is very,
It's a reach.
yeah, it's a reach.
It's a grope.
It's not a
groping
deep
of science.
concept, but it doesn't have to be because it's basically a comedy parody anime.
Yeah.
It is very much a guilty pleasure. This is made by fans for fans. It is wrought with references to actual series that you see right from episode 1. And just the very nature of it. I mean, I'm hesitant to call it like a celebration, as it were, but it does feel like a celebration of the otaku subculture, in a way. Kind of in the same veins of Otaku no Video or Genshiken.
Interesting.
Just with more partial nudity.
I could probably see that.
Anyway, definitely gets a thumbs up for me.
Thumbs up.
It's I would have to warn somebody, it's not a deep series. Don't expect anything really deep from this series.
Not at all. This is a guilty pleasure. If there was one.
As per Otaku Saga, that means in every discussion you can expect us to go a little too deep.
Of course.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're gonna talk the ever-loving shit out of this series, and not at all about the ones where you actually have to almost like bring in the CIA cryptologist to make some sense of the plot. No, it's stuff like this that really grabs us and gets us
Unfortunately,
talking.
that's not a very good segue because the next anime is Demi-chan
Demi-chan wa Kataritai. You almost had it.
Interviews with Monster Girls. This one's by A1 Pictures, based off a manga. And honestly, right now for me, it's probably my anime of the season. And I wanted to guess that based off the synopsis.
No.
It's very charming.
Oh yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Charming.
It's not normally with these types of series where it's like the one dude and then he basically has a harem.
Like Monster Musume.
That's
originally why I thought it was going to go down.
Basically, normally with these types of series, it would be really, really ecchi and really, really dumb. But this series really isn't. And I think that has to do with the tone of the series and the fact that the main character is not like out to get his harem or whatever, you know?
Oh yeah, total horn dog.
Or a total horn dog. He approaches all of it basically like a scientist.
someone who's genuinely interested in talking with monster girls.
Indeed.
Yeah, I like it. I mean,
Well, I assume talking with demi-humans in general.
the demi-humans,
but-
right. Demi-humans. I say monster girls as a sort of blanket statement, but yeah, demi-humans. To keep it in the lore of the series. But yeah, very, like you said, charming. That's like one of the best ways to describe it. It has that sort of relaxing quality that we like in series like Tanaka-kun wa Itsumo Kiraruge or Flying Witch, where it has its really funny moments, downright hilarious sometimes, especially with last week's episode centering around Machi the Dullahan. But yeah, just kind of kick back, relax, and you just know you're in for a sort of wholesome kind of good time. Unlike Akiba Strip, this is one you could watch with your parents. Maybe.
I probably still wouldn't.
Well, no, but I guess it depends on how your parents are, really.
Depends on how your parents took Keijo.
Right. But yeah, so yeah, big thumbs up for me.
Love it.
Agreed. Love it.
It's definitely one that I look forward to every week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for a good reason. Especially with next week's episode with Yoko Hikasa's succubus character coming into play.
Indeed. And I didn't mean that literally, because like on Saturday when it came out, I got home from work and I was like, hey, we're gonna watch Demi-chan this morning.
Woohoo! And yeah, we're all just like,
All
yes.
right. I need to be excited.
I know, right?
I didn't
Pump
even
some
realize it
coffee
was
in.
coming out. Stick it in.
Give me the coffee.
Coffee, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
We do IVs of coffee, not anything else. Silly people.
Anyway, moving right along, we have Eldlive.
Okay, now here's something you would need heroin to get through.
Yeah, I don't know. This series is really weird, and I don't want to say that I hate mascot characters as a blanket statement, but I generally don't like mascot characters. And this is basically a series about a guy and his mascot character.
I know I can't say shit really about much mascot characters, but no, they definitely could have handled what the heck do they even call him? Like Griffin, I think. They could have handled the kawaii chest burster a lot worse than they have. That being said, it's still not exactly as engaging of a series as some of the others in our lineup, though.
Yeah.
So, and some of the animation is a bit off-putting. I do like some of the character designs, though. Reminds me a bit of Space Dandy, especially when they get to the aliens.
Yeah, the transitions in the series really bugged the fuck out of me.
The pants got a little repetitive in the first episode, but I thought they did all right.
I don't know. I think that we were in semi-agreement of 3-episode rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's still very much on the bubble.
Yeah, this one to me this one looks like it might be one that will fall short.
Yeah.
So we have episode 2. We still need to watch it, and then we'll definitely give it up to episode 3. If it doesn't really grab us by then
Yeah,
we're
drop
probably
it.
gonna drop it.
But that does remain to be seen. So again,
Yeah.
we'll give it 3-episode shakedown. All right, next up, Fuka. Fuka.
Fuka you and get on with it.
Nice segue there. How to put it? It's we've made comparisons to Beck Mongolian Chop Squad before. In another way, this reminds me of a more lighthearted version of Nana.
I never watched Nana.
Well, as far as I can tell, same kind of almost angsty rock and roll kind of drama, and
I've
also a
heard
female
of
lead
Nana.
character.
I've heard of it, and that's about it.
That's about
Yeah,
it.
I've heard of it. I've seen it used in AMVs, but that's it.
Yeah, I watched it like years ago, actually.
It is an older series.
Yeah, way too long ago. I feel old now. But Fuka, it's definitely gotten better, I think.
Yeah, the first episode I really, really hated Fuka.
Yeah,
the character.
Yeah, not a good introduction.
Because it's like take that stereotypical what do you call it? double standard female on male abuse, and then kick it up to 11, which is appropriate for a show about music.
I'm not quite sure if it was up to 11 because the abusive characters.
That sounds more like Bento.
Okay, maybe not up to 11, but
It was pretty up there.
Yeah, she overreacted multiple times and assaulted the main character without actual reason, and also destroyed his property without reason, and then acted like he was in the wrong.
And now
like 100% in the wrong.
Now all of a sudden she is literally clinging onto him. He's
and then you
boy,
get basically a 2-episode turnaround where now she's the leading romantic interest.
Yeah, definitely a lot of mood whiplash with her character.
But at least you saw the character development.
Yeah.
Unlike most of them that I've seen, where it's just like complete 180, like right in front of you.
Just like all of a sudden.
Yeah, this one really did take a few steps to get that 180. Because in the first episode, you really got to see a bit of how it starts, and I really do like that. It's a detail that I don't get very much, and because of that, I love Fuka.
It just wasn't the best first impression of Fuka's character.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely the whole series is definitely picked up.
Yeah, I think I've said it in our reactions for it. It almost feels to me like the author of the manga had to do something of that nature just to get people's attention, so that they would start publishing it in a magazine. And then since the author's gotten a little bit more creative control over it, without having to worry about it being canceled, kind of brought it down a little bit.
Kind of toned it down. Simmered her down, really.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that I felt about it.
But other than that, it's a really good slice of life.
Nice, charming slice of life, teenage melodrama, with a hell of a love triangle forming.
Yeah.
I can approve of it. Maybe not so much the beginning, but as a whole, I can approve of it. Definitely.
So the next one we have is Gabriel Dropout.
Oh my god, yes.
Doga Kobo, based off of manga. As far as animation goes, it's not like one of Doga Kobo's best works.
Didn't they do Sancho Sanya?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Which I would consider to be one of the best works.
That's one of the best animated shows of the past several years.
Yeah.
I mean, goddamn.
That being said, though, it's still really well animated.
It's like if this was Sancho Sanyo, Gabriel Dropout's like here.
Yeah.
Somewhere around here.
They didn't go batshit crazy with it, but they did a good job with it.
And I don't see no cat budget yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
They haven't formed the cat budget yet.
Yeah, Gabriel Dropout is a very funny show. Definitely one of my highlights of the season.
All the trolling that goes on between characters. Oh my
it's basically
God.
about 4 characters. 2 of them are angels. 2 of them are demons.
And if you just look at their personalities, you wouldn't be able to tell who's who.
I love it.
I love it just for that. Who's the devil here?
Right.
So we have one inept devil, and then one who should be an angel, and then an angel who ought to be above or below Satan himself.
That one little bit, I think, what was it in the opening? Mm-hmm. Where Gabriel takes the halo and just rubs it.
Polishes off.
Yeah, takes the blackened halo.
There we go.
Sums it up
pretty much.
Sums it up quite there. There you go. There's the series in a nutshell.
But yes, this one definitely gets a good thumbs up for me. It's
that
fantastic.
Hilarious.
Fantastic comedy.
And then
get your barf bags ready.
We got handshakers.
More like head shakers because you feel dizzy after watching it.
It's by Go Hands. It's an original series, and it has some of the worst mixing of 2D and 3D I think I've ever seen.
It was definitely jarring.
It's too much of a good thing being used. Like aspirin cures headaches, improves blood flow. But if you take a whole bottle of it, that'll be the last headache you ever have. This is definitely too much of a good thing. The 3D animation was alright. I think it was solid. The 2D animation was great. But it was just too much of both at the same time. And then you mix in some wonky cinematics, then it's a hot mess.
And there was like no blending.
Yeah.
between the 3D and the 2D.
Yeah, so you see everything on different planes and everything, and it just throws you off. I mean, it threw me off so badly I couldn't even try to concentrate on the story.
Or like there's times where the 3D rendered background stops moving from a camera move.
Yeah.
But the characters keep moving.
It's kind of like fake tits in a way, just.
Yeah, kind of. Or there's a couple of scenes where the character stopped moving, but the background was still moving, like the camera was moving. And then like a few frames later, they would like snap into place.
Another thing about this, we have yet to see episode 2.
Yeah, that came out today.
It's still in its prohibition period of 3 episodes.
Yes, it is still in the probationary period.
I would say this one's further in the doghouse than Eldlive is.
Agreed.
Yes.
I mean, I do like the concept, sort of a mix of like Fate Stay Night and an absolute duo going on. But again, with just animation that jarring and almost that dizzying, it's kind of hard to concentrate on that.
Also, the whole, if you let go of her hand, then she dies, is kind of stupid.
Very much so.
Especially when it's not followed directly by everybody else.
Especially if it's not really explained. Is it like, okay, is it just them, or is it all handshakers, or do you just have to be connected, like bind and break are with a chain? Big time logical inconsistency there.
Well, I mean, you can't necessarily call it a logical inconsistency in the first episode. It's if they never explain it.
Okay, fair enough.
Then that becomes a logical inconsistency.
I'd hope they would have explained that in that scene.
They should have.
Yeah.
They really should have. Maybe not in that scene, but maybe at the end of the episode or something like that.
But
yeah.
It's not off to a flying start, to say the least. Well, the camera work is, but it's flying a little too wildly.
Yeah. It literally made me sick to my stomach last week, so... So far...
Yeah.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree. Not the best first
It's
episode.
a stinker.
Pretty much.
So far.
If episode 2 and 3 does not capture us whatsoever... Which is sad.
It is sad because I really want to like this.
Yeah, I do want to like this.
And Gohans doesn't do original works often either.
I mean, like we said, the 3D seems fantastic. And the 2D, again, fantastic.
But yeah.
But you put the two together with no concept of blending the two together. Just...
A hot mess. It's a hot mess. Handshake.
I'm so sorry. Let's move on.
We need like the cheetah or leopard Pico Taro suit.
I already got a retarded mustache.
Oh, okay. Okay, up next, Kobayashi-san Chino Maid Dragon. KyoAni.
KyoAni.
I said it before,
manga.
It's almost like KyoAni are going back to their roots with sort of cutesy, slice-of-life anime. Cute girls doing silly things. Yeah. That very much continues in this one.
Yeah, the animation really does remind me of Nichijou.
And it's almost as ridiculous.
Yeah.
Almost. To be even compared to Nichijou in terms of ridiculous, that's like the holy grail for ridiculous anime.
Show's pretty ridiculous.
I mean, that's your Bobobos, your Sumomomos, and stuff like that. That's god tier ridiculous. This is just below that.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Dragon level, if we're taking from One Punch Man.
Threat level dragon.
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, can you do laundry? Oh yeah. Miss Lola, take care of things.
Can you clean?
Oh, I can bring it. You can bring it back.
Sums
Sums
it's
it
really
up.
funny. The first episode was just riotously funny.
Oh yeah.
A klutzy maid who happens to be a dragon. What could possibly go wrong?
And she's only a maid because Kobayashi saved her life.
Because she got wasted
and then went for a walk through the woods.
into the mountains and just found a dragon.
With a sword in his belly.
I would love to see an OVA of their initial meeting. That would be like anime's answer to The Hangover. Kobayashi-san gets, friggin' shwasted and just goes off on this epic journey, and then comes just frees a dragon. There you go.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far, thumbs up for me.
Definitely.
Thumbs up for
Thumbs
sure.
up. Definitely thumbs up. Cannot wait for more.
And also, Fenrir is fucking a homicidal sicko. He should hang out with Fav.
Kill them all.
Kill them all. This is his solution for everything.
It's not Fenrir.
Or
It's Fafnir.
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 Fenrir's the wolf.
Yes.
Right.
Fafnir's the dragon.
All right. Fenrir, Fafnir.
Same mythology, though.
Damn Scandinavians. Stick to your meatballs and easy to build furniture. I mean, what?
Don't talk shit. Odin will smite you.
I think pronounce it Volden or whatever.
Whatever. I'm sure they get the point. Anyway.
Stick to your disco pop groups. Sorry to all our viewers in Sweden. We actually have a fair bit of them. And here I go doing that in Swedish chef impersonations whenever it comes. I'm horrible.
Konosuba!
Hey!
Yes, Konosuba, Season 2.
Konosuba 2.
The first episode, we haven't watched the second episode yet because that comes out tomorrow. The first episode, I felt like it was funny, it was enjoyable.
It was same old Konosuba, but
it was definitely kind of like a almost a recap episode, but not really.
a little bit of recap and a little bit of setup, not a whole lot of impact.
Yeah.
I mean, I was hoping for, just some riotously funny situation that, made us fall in love with Konosuba to begin with. But it seemed a little bit more serious this time around. Now that Kazuma is on trial for fucking up a lord's shit, in order to save everyone, of course. No good deed goes unpunished, but I don't know. I was hoping for a bit more comedy from the first episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think they'll probably get back into it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Hopefully with the next episode. It was still very good. Still pretty much what I wanted. I mean, it's more Konosuba.
Yeah,
It's very hard to go wrong with that.
Pretty much.
They didn't. It hasn't lost its touch. It's just more of a gentler reintroduction than I probably would have liked.
Probably.
Yeah.
So.
I was never a huge fan of like second seasons doing like a recap-ish type first episode.
Yeah.
Neither am I. But I guess that because this took so long to get back to.
Maybe.
I'm really not sure. It's still good though.
At least they try to hide the fact that it was pretty much a recap, trying to weave the recapping of events into the story.
Well,
Yeah.
they did a really good job with that actually.
There's still that segue from one season to the next.
Right.
It wasn't just a gloss over recap like they did with the SAO OVA.
The SAO OVA or the Evangelion movies at the end of the series, or could have been handled a lot worse.
Could have been handled a lot worse. They
I think
actually
they did
gave it
alright.
story. They actually gave it,
As far as recaps go, it's probably one of my favorite recaps.
But
But it's
still
kind of like being King Turd of Crab Mountain, really, because I don't like recaps.
Yeah, exactly.
It's still a recap.
Yeah, it's a recap with story, though.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
recap light.
Yeah.
Still, Konosuba.
Will always be one of our favorites, and I don't see them teetering off anytime soon.
It's an
Ever.
Otaku Saga staple. It's
Yeah.
basically what got us started.
It was in our first season. Yeah, it's still one of our most popular reaction series.
Yep.
And hopefully that trend continues. So, okay, Little Witch Academia, or TV in parentheses. Very important because there is an OVA series.
Yeah.
Harry Potter a la Trigger.
Minus the houses.
Minus the houses, but you still, elite private school for witches. A little bit of snobbery in there, but not nearly as much as I was expecting. And I like that.
Yeah, I was expecting a whole lot more snobbery.
Yeah, like I was thinking, Diana was going to be your very, Rule 63 Draco Malfoy, and thank goodness she's not.
No, but her mooks are.
The mooks are, and that one teacher. But I do kind of like it when the snobbery is kind of more from the peanut gallery than from a main character.
I actually think that's a lot better dealt with. So
yeah, I've actually been thinking, what if J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter out that way? See characters like the Malfoys or Snape in a totally different light, or from an angle like that. But
I really felt those books were done pretty well.
Well, of course they're done. Of course they're still fantastic. But I'm just thinking, what if?
No, yeah.
But
the series makes you have
series-
weird discussions.
Yes, it does.
Sorry, just wanted to point that out. Yeah, as we said, it is a Trigger anime, which you can definitely tell from the art style.
Doesn't feel exactly like Trigger though. It's not like as over the top as Kill la Kill or even when Supernatural Powers Become Commonplace. Was that the title?
Yeah, well, yeah, that was the slice of life anime that they did. It was based off a light novel series. I actually disagree. I feel that a lot of times it does do over the top stuff. Like in the second episode with the statue, I felt that was pretty over the top.
Okay, actually, that's.
Or yeah, or like the bits with the cockatrice in the first episode. That was pretty well over the top. It's not as over the top as like say Kill la Kill, which is fucking ridiculous.
That's what I'm talking about, because Trigger excels at that ridiculous, but it's on the border of ridiculous and badass. They just sit right on the line. I feel as if this one is more on the reasonable side, but still close.
it's definitely stepping up to it.
But yeah, I was more talking like the character designs and how the characters are animated is 100% Trigger. Like you cannot mistake that art style.
That is true. I mean, we're looking at the promo art right now, and you see Akko on her arrow/broom. Which you get to see. That's going to be cool when it comes out.
Right?
But yeah, that is definitely Trigger.
Yeah.
100% Trigger visuals.
Or like the way that Akko reacts to things kind of reminds me of the way that they animated. What was her name? The crazy one from Kill la Kill.
Mako?
Mako. Oh, Akko and Mako. Anyway, it really reminds me of the way that they animated her reactions in Kill la Kill.
Just
like the way over reactions. So
I don't know. Mako is more. I think Mako is more likable, than Mako is, because she was the comic relief, whereas Akko's supposed to be the main character. But
she is the comic relief too, though.
I love it.
Anyway, it receives a thumbs up for me. It's probably not in my top 5 though. It's good. It's just I don't know. I still feel it's missing something for me.
Yeah.
Hopefully that little bit of something will come up. Again, that's sort of like almost ridiculous badassery. Hopefully we'll see that from Mako, but we've definitely... I guess we'll see. It's good enough to continue, though. That's for sure.
Always. I mean, this is a 2-core. We should be...
That is true.
Plenty of time to explore some story.
Plenty of time to develop our characters, too.
Indeed. But next up, we have Masamune-kun no Revenge. It's by Silverlink, based off of manga. And it is pretty amusing.
So next series.
Right.
Cultivated hottie gets revenge on...
Or starts plotting.
Yeah, attempts to plot to get revenge on the girl that made fun of him when he was fat.
There you go. I mean, this the plot does thicken a fair bit, especially after episode 2 with the the rise of the blackmailing combat maid. Damn. I still want to see her and Sachi from Grisai no Keijutsu go at it.
Yeah. But the animation's good, as you'd expect from Silverlink.
Yeah. The gags are funny.
Gags are funny.
As you can also expect from Silverlink.
I like the characters a lot, actually. I like the main character especially, just because he's not what you would typically see in a harem series. Because he's the character design is very typical for a harem series, very average
typical
Japanese
schoolboy.
male.
Yeah.
But his actual personality, he's just doesn't seem like that type of character at all.
Bit of a disconnect between how he appears. Maybe the front he puts up. Maybe that's why, because every single one of these characters are deeply flawed.
They're human.
It's
fantastic.
It is fantastic. It's kind of hard to see in a harem anime. I usually get it with the good ones. So, like Issei in High School DxD.
Well, if you actually pay attention to Issei in High School DxD.
Yeah, he's still...
A lot of people don't.
A lot of people. Yeah, it's like they never watched the first episode.
Right.
But anyway, thumbs up for this series. Very enjoyable. A lot of funny gags that you'd expect from a Silverlink school comedy. And hoping for more of the same.
Yep. Thumbs up for me, too. I mean, it's awesome.
Yep.
And, last, certainly not least, Yojo Senki.
Damn.
Just spectacle.
A spectacle.
Absolutely just a spectacle.
Wasn't expecting much good from this. I'm going to be brutally honest here.
I was expecting the designs are very interesting. Well, I should say the character designs for Tanya and
Tanya creeps me the fuck out.
The other girl, Victoria. Yeah, the two character designs for Tanya and Victoria are just different.
It's definitely an example of those overly huge anime eyes.
Well, yeah. The reason why I say different
plates.
is if you look at all the other characters in the world, they're more
human.
realistic.
Yeah, they're really straight.
I'm
more
talking
westernized
1 to
style.
7 head to body ratio, realistic, and then you get Tanya and Victoria, and then you're talking like maybe a 4, 1 to 4 body ratio, and they're just more. They're almost chibi-ish, but not quite.
Well, particularly Tanya, but
Victoria is very much so as well, especially with the giant fucking dinner plates for eyes.
Poor Victoria.
I know. Her facial features kind of remind me of Droopy, the cartoon dog. Poor thing too, because she's gonna be caught up in a world of shit with, having to follow Tanya around.
Yeah.
But that aside, really good action, a nice alternative history, and they do a pretty decent job of kind of weaving in magical elements. There's a sort of blending of magic and science you see sometimes in Blaze Blue, the fighting game series. prime example I can draw on, and others. Owari no Seraph did a decent job with that as well. And then they kind of continue that here.
Yeah.
And very simple, easy to follow story.
Simple and easy to follow, but it did really impress me in the second episode when it shows Tanya's past.
Oh, God.
The argument with God.
The argument with God.
Well, sometimes it felt like, the unnamed salaryman was lecturing God.
Right.
It's a beautiful philosophical debate here as
And
time
then he
stands
made
still.
one wrong slip up.
Well then. Yeah.
If I was, how did he put it?
If I were put in dire straits.
Yeah, so you need me to put you in dire straits, and then you'll believe, huh?
Yeah, well then.
See ya.
See if you can live. Try to survive. Ouch.
But yeah. So far, major thumbs up. Apparently, it's not that popular in Japan, which is a crying shame.
I think there are mixed reports on that front.
Yeah.
One thing we do know for sure, it's immensely popular on our channel. Holy shit, you guys love this one.
Yeah.
And it's one of our favorites, so.
It's a big surprise for me, so, yeah.
All right.
And that's why I watch as much anime as I do, because I like being surprised.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Okay, so out of all the ones that we were watching,
we need to come up with a preseason top 5, or first impressions top 5.
First impressions, top 5.
Top 5. Can't just be a top 3 or a favorite.
Nope.
Oh, you bastards.
You don't get it that easy. Oh yeah, we are also watching. We kind of glossed over them because they call them second seasons, but they're not really second seasons. They're just continuations of the first. So that's why, like, Konosuba is definitely a second season. I mean, it picks up from where the first left off, but
It's starting with a new story.
Yeah, basically, it's starting with a new story. Whereas Rewrite, which we will be getting the final few episodes of that out here pretty shortly because we need to start doing the new series.
And Tales of Hysteria DX. Same exact deal. It picks up right after the big battle.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no need to give a second first impression for those two.
Yeah.
And Mobile.
And Mobile Gun.
Yeah, Mobile
Gun, Sangatsu no Lion,
and Nambaka.
Yeah.
Number 5. For me, I have Masamune-kun no Revenge.
Yeah.
It's funny. I did read a few chapters of the manga before this season started. Actually, I read a few chapters of the manga before I even heard that it was getting an anime. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty much what I expect at this point. The story isn't like super deep or anything. You can definitely tell that at the end of it, he's going to end up hooking up with the chick that he's trying
with
to,
Aki.
Yeah, that he's trying to get revenge on. It's just the way that story's going, and you know that's how it's going to go. But I'm interested.
It's a journey.
Yes, I'm interested in seeing how they get there, not necessarily.
Yeah, with the end result.
Yeah, the end result. So
the journey, not the destination.
Number 5 for me.
Okay, 0. Let's see you.
Ditto.
Masamune-kun no Revenge.
Masamune-kun no Revenge.
Okay.
And for basically same reasons.
Yeah.
Well. Okay. Damn it. I'm gonna have to say the same thing. Actually, I was split
Consensus number 5.
Consensus number 5. Yeah, I was thinking I was kind of split between either Masamune-kun or Yojosenki for number 5 on my list. But I'll have to give I think I'll give it to Masamune-kun in this instance. And as unoriginal as it is, for pretty much the same reason. I mean,
it's a good series.
Yep.
It's a good series, and you're a bastard for putting us under the spot to come with a top 5 like that. So this is what you get
every time. I don't know why you're surprised.
I'm hoping that one day he'll stop.
Never.
And number 4. For me, it's Kobayashi-san Chino Maid Dragon. It's very funny. I'm very interested to see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And yeah, probably the only reason why it doesn't rank any higher for me is that I'm not a huge fan of the whole Yuri thing. And while I do find it funny, and I do find it interesting that she basically said it like right out,
Right.
that she's sexually interested in Kobayashi. But yeah, that definitely brings it down a little bit for me.
All right. Well, mine is Gabriel Dropout.
Okay.
It's what can I say? It's hilarious. I mean, the only reason why it's not any higher is because my enjoyment of all the other series is much higher.
All right, fair enough.
Like, yeah, I mean, what can I say? They're making fun of God. They're making fun of religion.
Speaking of, my number 4 is Yojo Senki. I do love the comedies we have on tap, but I have to give a nod to Yojo Senki, if only for the debate with God. I mean, that's just...
I'm actually surprised that it didn't rank any higher with you.
Oh, down to 0.
No, both of you.
Oh,
Well,
really?
actually you, because I have a feeling it's going to show up on his list at some point.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, we do have some great comedies. I mean, ones that I really enjoyed, but like I said, I have to give a very good nod to Yojo Senki. And like I said, if only for that scene. It reminds me a lot of Death Parade in a way. Sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of like alternate take on afterlife and judgment and all, and I just like it. And plus, all history usually gets us going anyway, so
Yep.
Always.
really good on that end.
And number 3. For me, it's going to be Gabriel Dropout. I ended up giving it the slight edge over Kobayashi, San Chino Maid Dragon,
Okay.
because I do actually find this one funnier than Kobayashi San Chino Maid Dragon, but it's really amusing. I like the twisted personalities. I think that they've used the character archetype, the character archetypes that they've used very well. So, and all the characters are fucking adorable.
Yeah.
So,
In their own way, yeah, I gotta agree with that.
Yep.
Even Vignette.
And
My number 3 is your number 4. Damn you. Kobayashi-san Chino Maid Dragon. I mean, yeah. Hysterical. I love the animation. I love everything about it. I actually think it's a fantastic thing that they just came out and said it right at the beginning.
Establish the
Hey,
relationship.
there's a Yuri relationship in there. Hey, guys, they're together, or they're trying. She's trying.
She's trying.
She's definitely trying.
She's trying. Kobayashi doesn't seem so into it.
No.
If anything, I almost think it's the opposite, really.
Yeah.
But that's enjoyable to me. I like it.
Well, yeah, interesting enough. My number 3 is also Kobayashi-san Chino Maid Dragon.
I'm seeing a trend here.
I know, right? That's what happens when you cut down your schedule. It's very charming.
This is also
comedy.
what happens when we exclude all the second seasons of which we're watching.
That's true.
Sangatsu no
Lion.
Lion, Mobile Suit Gundam,
Yeah, but this is the first impressions podcast. We've already had our first impressions of those.
Rewrite, Tales of Hysteria,
Dude,
and Nambaka. So we're watching 6 second seasons.
And
Yeah.
for the most part, I could probably say that those, at least 5 of those, would take up some slots.
Yeah. If we were still kind of going on there.
We'd have a more difficult
Or
time.
at least one of them, at the very
There's
least.
definitely one of them.
It would change.
Maybe 2 of them.
It would change our results around a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kobayashi-san, I mean, really good kind of skit-based Yonkama adaptation. It is based on the Yonkama, right?
sure.
It definitely, if not, it definitely feels that way. And again, KyoAni kind of going back to their visual roots. A lot of the comedy, a lot of the visual stylings that you see in series like Nichijou and Lucky Star have come back, and I very much like that. So, well, and also our main Dragon Girl here is just a ball of energetic hilarity.
Oh my god.
Just
so
nonstop gags, and just I'm looking forward to more. So, number 3.
I can almost see where number 2 is going to go.
Number 2. My
see
number
your-
2 is Yojo Senki.
All right.
Honestly, it wouldn't have placed as high on the list if we hadn't watched episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
So episode 1 was very enjoyable, but there wasn't a whole lot to it. Episode 2 was like awesome. Like I really love the way that they handled Tanya's backstory.
Definitely.
Very much so, yeah.
So,
It's about as good as you can get for
I
a
like,
reincarnated
you know,
character.
I like the weird art style. To be honest, like I think that it really helped set it apart, and I really, really love that they made basically World War I the setting of this story.
They didn't try to play it off as like a World War 1.5.
Well,
something.
I mean, there's that, but just also the fact that it's not really one of the more popular settings.
Fair enough.
It's definitely not one of the more popular, well-remembered wars. So, I do like that they had that as the setting.
All right.
Number 2.
Mine's probably going to be a curveball, actually.
Ho ho.
Fuka.
Fuka. That is a curveball.
It is a curveball because that one didn't even make it on my list.
Well, it made it on mine. I mean, just the awesome feels trip that I'm going through with that one.
That, you know, the teenage, again, the teenage melodrama kind of hitting home.
A lot.
Damn normie.
Oh, God. With the exception of there's a beach involved in the second episode.
Fair enough. Kind of hard to do that when you live in the middle of the country.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's really cute. I like Fuka. You know, you may disagree with me. I don't really care.
Of course you don't care about that. Come on now. You work for Otaku Saga. You have to be opinionated and stubborn in it.
Right. But, I mean, this is, very pure to a teenager's life. Who didn't at one point in time get drugged in by a friend to attempt to start a band?
Who at one point did the dragging, and then then he got drugged in. Yep. Could definitely
Moving
relate.
right along. What's your number 2?
Mine is Gabriel Dropout. I just how toxic the interactions with these characters can be, well, particularly with Finette and Gabriel, kind of picking on the poor devils. And just also the sheer role reversal of it all. I mean, absolutely love it. And also their interactions kind of remind me of Sancho Sanyo as well.
Yeah.
With a lot of really
Kobo really likes to do those sorts of series, and they're very good at it. So
a lot of, how to put it, like friendly yet masterful trolling just going on around here. And also well animated and just, I mean, it's just overall enjoyable for me. Not much else to say about it. Now then, number 1, and I have a distinct feeling
number 1
that I know what this is.
Yeah, it's not really a secret.
Yeah,
I kind of said it earlier.
Yep.
But Demi-chan wa Kataritai.
Demi-chan.
The series is just so damn charming.
Definitely charming.
And you just know there's much more to look forward to.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously, with Monster Girls, the potential is damn near limitless. But they stick to this formula. Good God, you could draw this out and it's gonna be wonderful. They're only getting started with this, I'm sure.
Yeah. And like I said before, this series makes me really look forward to Saturdays. Not just because it's the end of my work week, but also because after work I get to come home and watch this and just relax. Number 1, all across the board.
No, he's gonna say Handshakers for sure.
the guy, yeah, I said that Handshakers was at the very bottom.
I know.
I cannot decide which one I like more.
Oh, we may not have a consensus after all.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
I cannot decide whether I want Demi-chan or Yojo Senki. I cannot decide. I literally can't decide.
Call it a tie then.
Yeah, it's so hard to decide too because they're so different.
So different, but the same level of enjoyment.
I am thoroughly enjoying both those series. And it's sad because I cannot decide.
So we have partial
and it's
consensus.
all your fucking fault. Actually, no, it's Naka-kun's fault.
That's how it started.
It started this downhill spiral in this slice of life anime.
It always starts with one.
And on that bombshell, I think we're gonna go regret our past now. I'm DK.
I'm Zero.
I regret nothing!
See you next time.